Yo, what's good, combo crew? It's the one league combos right here to catch you another super hot fire bang, man. Today I'll be showing you how to create the ultimate Magic Johnson build in NBA 2K23 Next Gen. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, so if you guys can be one of the subscribers, that would really help a lot. And yeah, let's get into the build. And for the position, you want to go with point guard because it's a position that he played. Even though he was super duper tall and could have played power forward if he wanted to, we had to go point guard because that's what he usually played. And for the hand, you want to go with right because he was a right-handed guy. He passed the ball a lot with his right hand, and that's why I went with right. And for the jersey number, doesn't really matter. Go with whatever. I went with 32 to make it more realistic like him. And yeah, let's get into the body settings. And for the height, you want to go with 6'9" because that's the height he was listed in real life. And for the weight, you want to go with max weight because even though he looks really skinny, he's actually a pretty big guy. So you want to go with 230. And for the wingspan, you want to go with 6'9" because there's no actual listing of his wingspan. You can go anywhere. You can't find it. And if you guys know his wingspan, please let me know in the comment section below. And I would really appreciate you telling me what his wingspan is so I can actually get this information because I can't find it anywhere. So if you guys know, just tell me. And yeah, for the body shape, you want to go with solid because he wasn't strong. I mean, he didn't look strong, but he didn't look weak. So I went with solid because he wasn't like a really ripped guy, but he wasn't a really skinny guy, so I just went with solid. And yeah, let's get into the attributes. And for the finishing, for the close shot, you want to go with a 68 because he was tall. So he didn't really do close shots like that because he usually passed the ball more. So I went with a 68. And for the driving layup, you want to go with an 84 because he can drive to the basket because he's really tall for a point guard. So he can do a lot of layups. And even though he played in the 80s, he still do a lot of layups because it was a more aggressive era. We could like literally punch somebody in the face and not even get a foul. But that's why I went with an 84. And for the driving dunk, you want to go with an 80 because he's really tall. He can dunk the ball. He just doesn't dunk it as often, but when he does, he can dunk it really well because he's 6'9". And for the post and for the standing dunk, you want to go with a 70 because he didn't do standing dunks like that. Even though he was super tall, he couldn't do standing dunks like that. So I just gave him a 70 to add some extra attribute points. And for the post control, you want to go with a 75 because I mean he can pass it out the post. He can do like no look passes. Even though that was really uncommon for the 80s. That was like super duper cool in the 80s. Even though that's what everybody does, you could do no look passes, and it's not as special as it was in the 80s. So I just gave him a 75. And yeah, let's get into the shooting. And for the shooting, for the mid-range and 3-point, you want to go with a 70 because he just shoot the ball a lot, especially because it was in the 80s. And I don't even think the 3-point line was back then. So if I just gave you some shooting to shoot a little bit decently. But if you want to play more like Magic Johnson, then you're gonna have less shooting because he didn't shoot a lot. I also gave him a 72 free throw because I didn't see him shoot a lot of free throws, but when he did, he would make them like most of the time, maybe like 5 times out of 10. So I gave him 72. So you want to go with 70, 70, and 72 for your mid-range, 3-point, and free throw. And yeah, scan to playmaking. And for the playmaking, for the pass accuracy, you want to go with a 90 because he could do like passes that we see LaMelo Ball do and Stephen Curry do and LeBron do like in the 80s. He was doing that in the 80s. So you want to go with a 90. And for the ball handle, you want to go with a 75. You want to max out your speed with ball and ball handle to whatever it's maxed at. You want to max it to 75 and 72. So that's what you want to go for the playmaking. And yeah, let's get to the defense. And for the defense, for the interior defense, you want to go with an 80 because he's really tall, so he can defend anybody in the paint. And for the perimeter defense, you want to go with an 85 because he's a point guard. He's 6'9" point guard, so usually he's guarding point guards. Well, I mean they have to guard point guards, so if the point guards cannot see over him because usually they're short. They're short point guards who are quick, but they can't see over him, so they don't know where to go. So that's why I give him an 85. And for the steal, you want to go max it out to a 78 because I mean he was bigger, so a lot of shorter point guards can get the the ball away from him, but he was still tall, so he can still see. They can't see over him, so you just want to go with a 78. And for the block, you want to go with an 80 because I mean he can block whoever he wants because he's not as athletic. But he can dunk, he can do layups, so he can still block the ball. So I gave him an 80. And for the offensive and defensive rebound, you want to go with a 70 and an 80 because he can get rebounds a lot because he's super duper tall. So he's 6'9", at point guard, getting rebounds. So I mean he has to get rebounds. So you want to go with a 70 and 80. And yeah, let's get into the physicals. Now for the speed and acceleration, you want to max it out to an 80 and a 74 because he's fast, but he's kind of slower because he's a 6'9" point guard. That's why he has 80 speed. But most of the point guards would have like a 90 speed, 85 speed, because they're smaller, so they have to be faster. So I gave him a max speed for speed and acceleration. And for strength, you want to go with an 85 because even though he looked like he wasn't that strong, he was actually really strong. He was like 250 pounds. So if he was 250 pounds and not fat, you know he was really strong. So you want to go with 85 strength, and for the vertical you want to go to 75 because he can dunk the ball, block the ball, play on perimeter, guard anybody he wants. So I'm going with a 75. And for the stamina, you want to go with a 98 because I mean he has to play the game all day and he was mostly starting the whole time, so you want to give him a 98 stamina. And yeah, let's get into the takeover. And for the takeover, you want to go with team ratings boost for playmaking. So you want to go with team ratings boost because you want to give your teammates, when you pass them the ball, when you have takeover, you want them to have a really high three-pointer so you can get your assist. And then they can also make shots to help you guys win. And also you want to put on team badge boost so you can just hit more shots because ratings are not going to help you if you don't have badges. So you want to give extra badges to them. And that's why I went with these both takeovers. And yeah, let's get into the outro. And as you see, we have built a floor general. It has trades to Magic Johnson, Ben Simmons, and Luka Doncic. I don't really see where the Luka Doncic comes from, but I definitely do see where the Magic Johnson comes from. And that's why you should make this build. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Put on the notifications if you want to see more videos just like this. And I'm out, man. Peace.